Hi everyone, happy Monday. I'm super excited. Tonight we are doing the IG Live with Kiyah Wright, and she's now an author. Her new book is titled From Beauty to Business. So I'm super excited to talk to her all things being an author and just her journey to get there. So yes, a little late. I hope everyone's had an awesome Monday so far. Let's... Okay, so invite her. So, hi Brittany. Hi Brittany. Hi Kiyah. Okay, I sent you the invite, Kiyah. So hopefully you got it. And if not, you can always. What?
Hi.
Yay! Oh my gosh. It's always the longest time when you're waiting for someone, you're like praying.
Yes.
Honestly. It's so awkward. It's like, okay, I know they're coming. Yay! We're doing it. And then I was like, I actually need to have a style because you're just like a hair goddess. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't be looking like frumpy with her because she'll probably be like, oh, did you not see that piece of hair flying? And I was like, oh god.
Okay.
So I made an effort today just for you. How are you? How was your Monday?
My Monday's been great. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to go freshen up because we had to do press and things like that for an actress I work with. So I was up at 3. I had to drive an hour, drove back, got my car washed, took a nap, food, and I'm up again.
Hey. Look at you, and you're peppy for 3 in the morning, and not just up 3 in the morning because you like watch something on Netflix.
No, this was all work, and it was a pretty easy day with clients that pleasurable to be around, happy, joyful. They look out for you. Make sure you get food because people seem to think that they don't deserve to eat. So, yes, always a pleasure. You know what I mean? Especially clients that you love.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And you have been super busy. So I am super happy that we finally got to do this. So I am super excited. And we actually, so for people that don't know, we actually interviewed Kiyah. Like she was one of our first guests at the height of the pandemic.
Yes, it's Kiyah, by the way, too. It's okay.
Kiyah, oh my gosh. I said that last time too, and you were like, it's Kiyah. And I was like, oh, I know. And then I keep saying,
it's okay.
Oh my gosh. You think
a quick story from my...
Oh my gosh. You think I would have...
A quick story. My whole life, I was Kiyah Wright. Kiyah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was Kiyah my whole life, so you're okay. Until I got to LA, and I was working with Tyra Banks, and I heard Tyra say, and my hairstyle is Kiyah, and I hate it. So I changed it back the original way you say my name. My real name is Rukiah. So it's Rukiah. Kiyah.
Okay. Okay. That's amazing. And again, so sorry, but people don't know, it's like literally,
I see another Kiyah. Kiyah.
What'd you say? Oh yeah. Hello everyone. But so besides messing up your name the first time around, I did that the first time, but in the height of the pandemic, I remember you were packing, and I believe you were just starting Muse Hair, like putting it online. And for people that don't know, Muse is like her online shop where it's, if I was gonna get a pastel wig, like she has everything, hair care, hair, like actual wig, everything. And I literally was like, if I want to get a pastel wig, it would be where it is. Like your, like, just what you offer is so amazing. Like honestly, it's on the market. Like it's almost like having you here without like being in front of you. So for everyone that isn't aware of that, check out Muse Beauty. But since then, you have become an author. So yay! Yes, from beauty to business. And people, it's not even like, I would say it's like semi-biographical, because you do put obviously your real life experiences, but it really is a how-to. And I mean like an honest how-to, not like what they give you at business school and you're just like, you know, theories, just like real life practice. So before we jump in, I want to know, when did you decide to write this book? Because it's not like you slowed down. You have a ton of clients. You're constantly traveling and on the road. So what made you think, let me add something else to my
when I think like a lot of times like things just kind of come by just someone saying, Kiyah, you should write a book. And I thought to myself, like, write a book. I don't know if people really care about my life, but I know what they do care about. They care about business. And I know that through my life experiences, I've had so many bouts with business, whether it be owing money on my taxes or making money and not knowing what to do with it, and you know, not just making sure my bank relationships, things I do would be more helpful to my audience, my you know, people that, you know, follow me, entrepreneurs, things like that. I knew it would be a lot more helpful if I talked about business. But luckily, my life are wrapped all into this book. And it's funny because when she first started, I worked with a writer, a ghostwriter, and she had basically given me my whole life like this. And I was just like, ah! And wrote my stories. I gave her all my journals, because I've been doing journals since I was about, I would say, probably out of like really just starting my own business. So probably like in the late 90s, early 2000s, I've been writing journals. And my journals are not like, ooh, juicy, ooh, I had sex, or they're not that kind of journals. They were just journals that I could ultimately let my kids read. I was like, if I want my kids to read these journals so they can understand my life, my stories, my trials, my tribulations, my triumphs, my excited times in my life, all type of great things.
Do you kind of think it was like your manifestation journal before like that whole, like, it came out? You know how people are like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna manifest what I want. It's like you were doing it even before.
I think so, like, because when I was younger, my mom passed away when I was about 14. She passed away from aneurysm. So it was just like this. Like my mom was standing there having an argument, boom, dead. It was just like that. So when those type of moments happen in your life, they're so monumental. They really do shift you, your focus, your mind, your goals, your objectives. Everything changed for me at that very moment. And I started seeking just some form of just like something. I didn't know what it was I was seeking, but one night I was looking at TV and I saw Tony Robbins. And I was like, I'm gonna get the 48 CDs and I'm gonna change my life, because he had CDs that you know that you would listen to, and they were so inspiring. So I was into self-motivation. A lot of my family members died in 5 years. Mother, grandmother, grandfather, like everybody died, like boom, 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 boom. Like all in maybe like a 7-year span.
Oh my God.
Like 14 to 21. And I was just trying to find something, you know what I mean? Like something, trying to hold on to. And I think that
just latch on.
Yes. And I think,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh so Tony Robbins.
Oh, and sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but I was just gonna say, like, even when you deal, okay, one loss is traumatic. Even, like a parent, that's probably the most traumatic. I don't even think, like, I know for me personally, like my grandfather died when I was, I think, 19, you know, and you still deal with that. I'm 30 now, and I still have his phone number and like the last messages. It's like, so when you're dealing with all those family members in like a 7 year period, and you did not go off track, or what I'm saying is you still have such a positive outlook. Like someone's just looking at you, they're like, oh my gosh, she's so successful, nothing bad has ever happened. So I think that really even brings more credibility to even your book. I mean, it's literally not just a manual for business.
Where'd you go? I'm here.
Life. Oh no, where'd you go?
I'm here.
Oh,
I wanted to make sure I charged my phone. Make sure it's on.
Oh no.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Keep talking,
I have my
goes
finger.
black.
Sorry. Okay. So you were saying.
Okay. What I'm saying, it's even just a manual, just even how to navigate, yes, business, because business is a crucial form of just of our everyday existence, but it's also a manual on like, if you have a setback, even as something as traumatic as a loss, how to keep moving forward. And I think that's really, really important for people to like grasp. It's not just like, oh, another like how to or like business for dummies. No. It's like more weight to that. It's literally, I would say, an honest, real pamphlet to just like life. Setbacks, like something that's super traumatic. It's like, okay, I don't want to say you compartmentalized it because like it's not the proper wording, but you took that pain and you literally kept building. You're like, okay, I'm going to take this. You started off in your grandmother's studio, and that was your first studio. And it's like, okay, great, awesome. It's almost like you're reading it and you're like rooting for you. You're like, oh my gosh, at least you have a place. And it's like, yes, okay, good. Yes, okay, awesome. You have a place. That's like the first step. Who cares? Doesn't matter location right now. You just have a place. You're starting. And then it's like you keep building, and it's like the confidence and the clients, and it's like boom, and then you move into your smaller studio, and it's like, but you keep getting clients, and it's the reputation, it's your positive attitude, and it's like, oh my gosh, awesome. And then like you said, obviously with like the taxes and things like that, life happens, and you're like, oh crap, well I forgot.
I didn't have
that.
any teachers.
And then it's like,
I didn't have a mom. I didn't have a dad. I didn't have any of the tools that you need to sort of survive. So I was just learning on the streets. That's why I talked about when I first started. I started out doing a drug dealer girlfriend's hair. I even tried to sell drugs myself because I was lost. I was just trying to find it. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know where to start. I knew that I started doing hair because it was just natural for me, sneaking people into my house to do their hair. And I didn't know that this would turn into who I became. I just knew that I wanted to be successful. I wanted to make money, and I wanted to do all the girls' hair in my area. I was like, I want to do all the fly girls. If they was fly, I wanted to do their hair. So that was kind of like my,
like you did it, like your stamp.
I was like, that was my motivation.
And I think that's really important.
It was my motivation.
But you have to have it though. And I think that's what's so important. I think we forget, like, I don't care where you start. And I've always said that. It doesn't matter where you start. My dad always used to say that. He always used to say that was like one of his biggest regrets was giving my brother and I too much because you're not hungry. You don't have the drive for it. He was like, yeah, you have all this, but clearly you're not like hungry. And I was like, I'm hungry. No, I am hungry. And he was like, yeah, and he was like, you're not. And my dad, he's Venezuelan. He is not American. So he has a very different outlook. And so he's just like, I gave you too much without having to earn it. Like, it's not like you shouldn't have nice things. It's like, I didn't make you guys earn it enough. And then, he cut me off. And I was like, well, that was a jolt. I mean, but it's still, you're fortunate when you're sheltered for so much. You don't naturally have the hunger. And I think that's what I would say, like being sheltered, that's an unfortunate setback. People think, oh my gosh, you're so lucky. But no, you don't even know how to survive even in the real world. You don't even know where to go to even find the answers or even how to get a fire because you've always been protected. And so reading your book, I was like, you know what? I could have saved another 2 years in business school and I could have just picked her brain. Like, this would have saved me so much time. But no, I do. And I think it's super important. And I think you really emphasize in your book, which is what I love. Don't be so focused on like where you start. Just start. And just start. And I think that's so crucial. So why do you think that message throughout the whole book, I think that's really what you focus on. Just start. Don't care if it's not fancy enough. Don't care if you don't
get a lot of followers. So like sometimes I'll look at my page. I've been shadow banned, so I don't even worry about it anymore. But I don't even worry. Yeah.
And that's Let's just put that
I've been shadow banned. It's definitely real. Like, my content is great. I'm amazing. My work is great. I know it. And you got to know it. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying that to be arrogant or anything. It's just you have to. Well, let me go back to that first question because you asked me something. Yeah. We'll go
sorry.
really
Yeah,
far
we're
off.
going
I
on
don't
a
want to go
tangent.
into anything. But ask me that question one more time.
Yes. So we're saying the whole what I got when I was reading the book, it's really it's just start. It doesn't matter if you have all the answers, just start. So did you intentionally with your ghostwriter, did you intentionally set out to really make sure that theme was brought home through the whole book, or it was just like
I feel like that was probably my mantra of the day. Every day, just go. I don't know. I don't care today. Oh, I just woke up. I feel crazy. Just go. Oh, I don't know if that. Just start. I don't know really which product. Just do it. And that's the thing too, because when you were raised the way I was raised in a way where like it was cool. It wasn't like abuse or anything like that, but we moved around a lot and it was not a lot of stability or any of those things. And I think it kind of helped me in life, that part, the moving around a lot. But the just go thing came from, I wasn't given a roadmap. I didn't have entrepreneurs, business minded people in my family, immediate family at all. At all. Barely anybody went to college and graduated besides my sister. Like, so it was just like, you know what? I just need to, it was in me. And I think that was one of the questions I asked. Do you have entrepreneurial DNA? And I think that was something that I had very early on. Like, you know what? Hanging out with, like I said, when I went to the hair salon, I saw those drug dealer girlfriends and they were fly, the clothes, the Gucci's, the this and that.
Oh yeah,
and I was great. Like, I'm going to do their hair. I'm sitting there as a hairstylist watching them get their hair done. And I was like, ooh, I want to do their hair. I want to dress like them. I want to be fly. So those things that pressure upon your mind and your mindset, ooh, I want those things. This is where I want to go. I want to make them look fly. I want to be a part of that whole moment. And as I got older, I really that's kind of where my career just sort of went. I just wanted to do good hair. And I wanted to work with the flyest people. And I think that's really just how it started. You know what I mean? And then it just sort of, and it spiraled from there.
Kind of picked it
and I was
from
good
there.
at
And it just was like a snowball.
I was actually good at it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you're like damn good. Like I literally, like, if people haven't like looked at her Instagram, she just did, one of her clients was at the Grammys, and like I said,
Laverne
right now, and I was like, holy crap! I was like, I've never seen 1920s look like with pastel look so elegant, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited! I can't wait for Monday. So yeah, I know. I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, 1920s has like purple, and I was like, but yeah, it looks so it was like, oh my gosh, it's like it's chestnut brown. I mean, that is
thank you. I didn't do the color. We work with Laverne. I work with a guy who does her colors so well. He teaches me a thing or two, and that's what I love. I love when I share a client with someone and they impress me, and I'm like, ooh, he's so good. His name is D Tranny, and he does really beautiful color. So most of her wigs are colored by him. So that's the great thing. I just come in and I style it. But that's what's so great when you can work with another stylist and still highlight your work. I think that is just like super amazing. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Now, my next question is, when you were growing up and you said, like with the Fly Girls and you wanted to be that, you didn't have a roadmap. So did it ever come, so you know how there's a fine line between like healthy competition and then you're just too consumed with, I don't want to say, like, it's not necessarily like it's like you just want to become somebody to feel accepted, and then you can get depressed if you haven't reached those goals. So how did you, like when you were working, you're like, that's good, it's healthy competition, it's something to strive for. So how did you make sure that it never became unhealthy?
Listen, even till this day, I get the jitters when I'm working with a new client. Even when, I'm not like, disappointment comes, like I'll post something and it don't get the amount of likes. I get disappointed. You know what I mean? But I have to say to myself, Kiyah, you're doing what you love. And as long as you do what you love, you're going to be happy first. Because there was at least I'm living through the era where I knew there was no Instagram before I was good. I was good first, right? I was good first. I became successful first. I won 2 Emmys first. I won a Hollywood Beauty Award first. I won a DC, a Golden Scissor Award first. I've got all these great accolades before Instagram. So that meant that I was good before Instagram. And so that, and I've mentioned Instagram because now that's the forum that says that we're good or we're not good. You know what I mean? Or you should be hired or not hired. You know what I'm saying? Like that for me, I had to really put that into perspective. You know what I mean? Because, you know, and I'm a veteran stylist. So that's what most people don't plan for. That's another thing that inspired me to write the book. People don't plan for 10 years down the road when you no longer are at your peak. Correct. I'm 28 years still relevant. That is not common.
Yeah.
It's just not common.
No. It's like fashion. It's fashion. Like the hairstylist beauty trends, it is fashion. You will get recycled. Maybe you're super lucky and you have 2 good seasons. And then you go through a lull. And then maybe if you're lucky, maybe somebody relevant will wear you again, and then you have another 5 seasons, and then you're dead. And then you have to keep going. But you have done it consistently. You have it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have yet to have a lull in, like you said, 20 plus years. That is literally unheard of.
But I've had my downs, and I've had my, and I don't call them downs. I just like peaks and valleys. And which means also I'm shifting my own business. That's another thing too. Like, you know, it's hard to be doing one thing your whole career. So if I'm like just going after celebrities all the time, I can't even focus on my own business. That's why you don't see a lot of stylists with their own brand, because it's extremely hard to balance it all. I'm a salon stylist, a freelance artist working with celebrities and everybody else, and I have a product line, and I do DIYs, consultations, all that, and I produce all my own content, which to sell products. So I'm like holding 5 roles right here, 4 streams of income. It's a lot of work, and managing assistants and social media teams and PR teams and managers. Like, I have a complete team, and people don't even really know, like, how do I get all of these things done? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, where do you even start to hire people? And like, and it really is, it's having such a good team. And I keep like reiterating that. It's like, and it's hard. You don't know. Somebody can come in, you think you click or whatever, and you think it's going to be a great working relationship. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. And it's like an ebb and a flow. And sometimes it could be, it maybe not hinder your business. Sometimes it could be super detrimental, set you back a few months, even a year. And I think it's like you show everything, like just how to navigate.
You know what, the way you say it, it does sound like very easy, but when I live it, it's not so easy.
No, it's hard. Oh no, it's hard. Like, I know, and I think maybe that's my problem too. I think I have such like a very like laissez-faire voice, like naturally. So people are like, oh, so you just have this. It's like, no. Do you know how hard I work? Like, I literally have, and I think it's just because like if you don't look stressed or you don't look like, you know, you're frazzled, people assume, oh, if they're doing it, this must be simple.
It's
and
not.
You know, and it's not. If someone makes it look as easy as you have or anyone in this industry, 9 times out of 10,
it's challenging. It is
hard.
It's very challenging to manage it all. But I say to myself every day, Kiyah, he chose you. He has chosen a lot of people, but he definitely chose you, because the weight sometimes that's on me, I'm like, wow, you're really handling it. You're handling it, running from here to there. Like I said this morning, waking up at 3:30 in the morning to go all the way an hour away drive, then to come back. But you still got to make sure, some days I still have to make sure my hair, my nails, and my personal things are done, because I might jump on camera at any time. You know what I mean? So people don't realize, like, people are like, oh, I don't have time. No, I always make time for the things that I need to do for my business. But I also don't have children.
Because your business card.
Yeah,
in your business card. You know, and when people, like, when you're in a beauty industry or an industry where it's possible that someone could see you, you are like, that first impression is your business card. So, and then I want to kind of go back to what you said earlier when you said you had like the entrepreneurial DNA. Now, even with your book, you wrote it as a roadmap. Do you think that anybody, even if they don't naturally have that entrepreneurial DNA, if they follow this handbook and this guide, you can, just from creating the habits, they can get that type of fire and spirit?
Entrepreneurial DNA, like I said, I don't know who gave it to me, because remember, my mom passed away when I was 14. So I feel that Correct. It was already inside of me. I was bred this way. You know what I mean? The loss caused me to become stronger and fend for myself and figure it out. Then like, I really believe in the universe, and I believe in the power of the spoken word. And I think that I was presented with just Tony Robbins being on that television that night. Then I was referred to this book called The Wisdom of Florence Scovel Shinn, who talks about the power of the spoken word. And like, I try not to say things like it's so hard. No, it's challenging. It's just another road. It's just another hill you got to climb. That's it. It's nothing you can't do. God would never give you more than you can handle. Like, I'm really constantly putting mantras in my life all the time, in my head, meditating, doing things that help me see the light when sometimes I can't see it. Sometimes I don't know which way. I don't know where I'm going, how I'm gonna get there. Like, I didn't know I was gonna write a book. It wasn't something that I always dreamed about at all. It was something that one day I was like, you know what? These are some tools that I personally needed to become successful. So I made sure that this book had all the resources. It has, in this book, there's QR codes. There is, did you pull out your phone and catch those QR codes?
No, because see, I don't have the actual book. I read it in the PDF
so
form.
They're there.
Yeah. So I don't have it yet.
You don't even need it. You don't even need the book. You can still scan phone over those QR codes in the pre-copy. Yes, you can still do it. And you can hear me talk to you, share with you, and you have voice, tell you stories and vision board, talk about my vision board, taxes, giving you different your business. I'm giving you all the resources that I use to get me to this place, because that's what we need. The 101 on business. A lot of us don't even know how to set our own businesses up, how to get a business license, putting your, getting your business listed in the local paper so that you are now officially a business. Like, people don't really understand the steps that you have to take.
I think they don't. And I really think it's not that you're just teaching business, you're teaching branding. I mean, that's really what it's not just, it's not just business, because business is such a wide tent. No, you're teaching how to brand a business. And that is something that is definitely not spoken about, because like I said, and you even said, there's a lot of people that are successful and do hair. Okay, but you have branded yourself so well and have so many different avenues, but it's always your stamp. So whether it's your hair care products, whether it's your Instagram, whether it's the actual Muse hair, I mean, regardless of what it is, you always know, okay, that's the Kiyah stamp. Like, you don't even have to think. You can always expect what it's going to be. Okay, elegant, timeless, and efficient. Like, and when I say efficient, I mean it's efficient. Like, if I'm gonna get, I don't care if it's a hairspray, I won't have to like spray it 10, 20 times to get that perfect hold. I know, like, I'll probably have to only spray it once if I do it properly, if I like it where I want it. It's that simple, timeless.
Well, that's nice.
That's the stamp that you've created.
Well, thank you. That's a good reputation.
No, yeah.
And that is something that, even though a lot of stylists are coming up nowadays on like Instagram and things like that, like, I don't really want to take any credit for them, but I do want to give them advice. And my advice to them is to really just learn the business, get a mentor, work under someone that you can learn from. Because working in your kitchen, your garage, or your makeshift space, that it teaches you so many bad habits when you're just working for yourself. But when you work under a mentor or under someone you admire, it helps elevate your career in ways that you didn't even see. You know what I mean? Never be intimidated by someone better than you. I always wanted to work with the best. I always wanted to be around the best, work with the best, experience the best. I always wanted that. Like, it was not like, oh, I'm scared. Like, when I first stepped foot in LA, I worked at a salon right here on 3rd Street, and my friend told me, he was like, you need to go work at the Millennium Salon because they are the best. Da, da, da. And what's so crazy is when I got there, the guy who was doing Aaliyah, it was one guy who they died in a plane crash, and another guy jumped off the building to Beverly Center. Talk about timing. Talk about timing. These unfortunate circumstances were fortunate for me. You know what I mean? Because my timing and just being ready and on point, I fell right into that nook at the perfect time. You know what I mean? In New York, the same thing. I remember traveling back and forth to New York, and the woman who I worked for was a very popular salon in Manhattan. Her salon got robbed. They put 11 people in a very small bathroom. And here I come, Kiyah Wright, once again, good timing. And the girl who did the type of hair that I did, she fled back to Atlanta. I'm out of here. I can't do it. Boop, boop, boop. Here comes Kiyah Wright. Good timing.
I'm here.
Just being ready, being prepared, being open, seeing the vision, having a goal. That is really what has kept me in alignment with my ultimate goal. You know what I mean? And that is really to have a beauty brand for curly, kinky, texture, wavy hair. I consider myself, I want to become like the Paul Mitchell of texture hair care. You know what I mean? Because we don't have that in our industry at all.
Yeah. Because, and there's so many textures. Like, people just think, oh, okay, like if you, like typically, you know, you think like super coiled or like it's just the 3 main ones that people normally think about. But it's like, no. There's like a mixture. Like if you're mixed like myself, it's like 30 textures in one head. I mean, so, and it's like one could be straight, one could be a little bit more coarse, one can have no direction whatsoever. And it's all in one head. But I mean, but that's the thing, we range. I mean, so the hair care would need to range.
And we don't have an ambassador for us. We have all these corporations and businesses and L'Oreal and Curls and all of these different companies and Miles and but who is a stylist that understands hair, texture, business, and products? Like, it's just not, we don't have that synergy. So that's really been my ultimate goal. So the business of the business of beauty is really just what I wanted to share with, you know, beauty entrepreneurs, and not just hairstylists. It's, you know, hair, makeup, lashes.
It literally goes across. It's anything. And to be honest, like when I read it, and I really meant that, I was like, this is information that I wish I would have known. Just even how to think big picture. Like it would have saved me a lot of angry moments. You know,
just a few, right?
It really would have.
Diamonds. Just a few.
Yes, but it really does. I mean, it's real life experience, and I do think that's a disservice. Like you get taught in theories, like, you know, big picture kind of theories, but you don't know big picture, how to plan 5 years down the road, how to brand yourself, how to even connect. So you offer that, and I really do. I think that is so invaluable, and it doesn't transcend to the beauty. It's any business that needs branding. Or any business that you want to be.
And I even made sure I put the actual forms in here so that you are not going to look for the forms. What do they look like? What is it? What's a 941? What's a 1099? What's the difference between the W-4 and a W-2? Like, people don't. I didn't know. So I'm like, these are the things that we just need to know. The 101 of business, how to set our businesses up, how to brand, how to find our niche. Do we have what it takes? How much of a priority is your success? You know what I mean? Like, how much? Like, people moving from state to state is a big deal. It's a big freaking deal. You know what I mean? Like, I moved from DC to New York, and when September the 11th happened, I moved from New York to LA. So I've lived through huge traumatic moments. September the 11th, economy crashing, 06, 07, then COVID. Having to survive those sort of major moments was like everything to me. And even having good credit saved my life. It saved my life. I didn't work for 10 months. 10 months. That's a lot of time to maintain your business, to keep everything afloat, to not let your team go. Like, it was everything. I could not touch hair. I didn't know if this was ever gonna go back to normal. You know what I mean? So I was just fishing, and just having an optimistic mindset. I ended up getting a deal with Procter and Gamble. I was with Procter and Gamble for 13 years. People don't even know that. You know what I mean? Making really good money.
I didn't know that.
Really good money too.
That's amazing.
You know, and I come from an era. Where we don't really brag about everything. Like this era, they tell everything. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. When I won an Emmy, no one rarely even knew. People didn't even know. And I was so busy on to the next. I won again the second year. I barely told anybody about it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just, I'm always just on to the next mission, and lately I've taken more time to digest all of the greatness that I have been lucky to have.
You've achieved, and just give yourself a pat on the back. But no, and I actually think I was actually going to ask you, because how you mentioned earlier with social media and with different styles getting a mentor, do you feel now with the ever-changing environment and with social media, do you feel that you now have to kind of, since it's global, social media is global, it's almost like you're getting kind of like a newer set of clients and fans even? Like, do you think you have to kind of like reintroduce yourself in a sense? Like you're like you said, you're famous, you've won all of these awards, but hey, here comes social media and people are like, oh, exactly. I don't recognize you. So it's like you kind of have to, and you're just like, you don't know who I am. It's like, I mean, so have you found that's kind of been like
yes,
a very interesting experience, kind of trying to get people
yes.
to be like,
I mean, like I said, looking at when I had to, when I wrote the book, I figured, okay, what's my next step? So now I need to reintroduce myself to my audience. Like, they see me doing hair and things like that, but a lot of people don't know my whole story, how I got here today. You know what I mean? So I did want to reintroduce myself to new followers, new beautypreneurs, just a new audience. Yes, I needed to reintroduce myself. And I'm not famous. I'm well known, but I'm not famous. And yes, I wanted to, if you're not working with the latest Megan Thee Stallion or the latest this one or that one, then you're not considered to be the top stylist. You know what I mean? It's really interesting. So yeah.
I did not know, actually. I would have just kept those 2 Emmys and been like, I would have probably just keep it on my phone and just anytime just like show it and have it be like, oh, I don't think.
And I wish that what it was. I wish that's what it was.
And
I sit over here with 2 of them. And I said, I should have them in my avatar. Right? Like, hey.
Yeah, you should get an NFT with like.
But those. Like, they don't define me. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Like, I really do this because I truly love it to this day. I'm still extremely passionate. I still go in with my 100. That is just how I approach the day, every day. I'm a salon stylist. I go in with a great attitude, happy. Your clients don't care about what you're going through. You know what I mean? It's about them. For that moment that they're experiencing you and making them over and putting your hands in their hair and scalp and putting that energy in, you need to come with good energy, optimistic energy and creativity. That is what I really do bring. I'm not saying I don't have good days or anything, bad days or anything like that. Of course I do, but no one cares. No one cares about your day not going well. She's paying. They're paying you to make them look and feel beautiful. That's the key. So I really just focus on those goals. You know what I mean? Just being good at what I do. Like, I'm, like I said, 28 years. I'm still doing this, and I'm still good at what I do. And I love it.
Yeah, and you're. So one of my second to last questions, because I could honestly talk, I didn't realize the time. I was just like talking and like, gosh, I was like, oh my gosh, so much later than I anticipated. No, but you know how you said you always make time for you. So how, with all that you have going on, how do you schedule time?
I figure, okay, so let's say if my schedule is, okay, first off, I took off on weekends. I took off on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. I do business like this and like light day, but I work today too, so but I did that for me. so that I can have a personal life. I can go out on dates with my boyfriend. I can do things that, you know, normal things. You know what I mean? Take care of my beauty regimen, my hair, my nails. If I have any time, I will squeeze that in. Ooh, I got 30 minutes real quick. Let me go get my feet rubbed. Because across the street, they got a little happy feet place. And I'll just go over there and be like, I got 1 hour. And I'll take my assistant. Come on, let's go get our feet rubbed for an hour. Because it's just really important. It's no such thing as I don't have time. Yes, you do. If I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I'll go get my beauty regimen done. I'll get my massages, because we stand on our feet all day. It's about circulation. When you get older, you're not going to be young forever. You're going to get older. Your body will change. And standing on your feet will get old. It gets old over time. So you have to prepare for all of those things. But to your question, I make time. I take off on weekends. I squeeze in my little beauty regimens. I make sure that I meditate in the mornings. I work out every morning because I know I need to feel my best. And if I work out, my energy's different. You know what I mean? Even if I got to get up at like 6:30, I'm going to be at that gym at 7. So I have a little time to get ready for work by 10. You know what I mean? If I have an early morning, I won't do all of it. But I'll, like tonight, if I wasn't up at 3, I would have came home at like 2 and rode my bike for an hour, or catch a class tonight at 7:30. Like, that's just kind of, you know, that's what I do. I will figure it out, because I won't feel my best if I don't make time for me, you know? I have to.
Self-care. And honestly, like, if you're not, like, and my mom used to say, if I'm not happy, no one's happy. Like, and that was like, literally, that's pretty much what I've like, so that's my self-care time. My mom was like, this is me time, because if I don't feel happy, no one's gonna be happy. And I was like, oh. And it's so true.
Let's make sure mom is happy.
Yeah,
and she was so happy.
Right. But literally, I was like, what do you need? And she's like, I just need an hour. Like, I'm leaving, I'm going to get my nails done. And we would just like, don't call me, don't need anything, figure it out. Me time. I remember growing up and I was like, I don't get what she's saying. I do now, and it's true, because it's like, if you don't feel whole,
you can't motivate.
Like,
you can't motivate if you don't feel good. You can't motivate. You can't. If you don't recharge, you're good to no one. You're good for no one. You know what I mean? So for me, I make time for what's important to me. And I think my mental health and my health, my physical health and my mental health is so important to how I show up to the world.
I love it. And then my last question is, what do you hope, because I strongly recommend everyone needs to buy your book, Beauty the Business. And like I said, it's not even just a how-to for the beauty world. It's really anyone that just wants to get fired up and feel inspired, and literally just a how-to on just how to succeed. But what do you hope that people get out of it? Like, what do you hope that when people read it, what do you
hope that when you read From Beauty to Business, you feel inspired to dream, to grow, to expand, to research, to create, to dream big, to create goals, make vision boards, delve into your business. I want you to go to your bank. I want you to introduce yourself to your banker, because you need to know who they are when you need favors and things from the bank. I want you to make sure that you know get you a bookkeeper to help you, because there's a lot of stylists. We make a lot of money, and our business is not in order. I know it, because when I was running around, I was on tour for 12 years. I had to have my friend collect my bills before I had a bookkeeper and pay my bills. Like, I was just all over the place because I was.
See, I'm a former accountant, so hearing that gives me heart palpitations. Like, that's literally an accountant.
Yes, I had to get an accountant, because you're and in our business, we're getting checks from all over the place. So you need an accountant to be able to have accountability and write checks to different people, do your payroll and things like that. You need your banker, so when you have to do your PPP loans or get a grant or anything, you knew who to call. When a grant, when COVID-19 happened and the world shifted, I picked up the phone and called my banker. We were like this. Okay, this is what you need to do. Here's the paperwork. Call your bookkeeper. And we were like a triway. Like, we were like handling it. And I got all the PPP money. I got all the forgiveness. I've done it all. You know what I mean? And that was because my team was in order. Teamwork makes the dream work. So I really recommend that you get this book to get inspired. If nothing else, I want you to be inspired. I know you will be if you read the book. And
yeah, if people actually read it, and like I just, because like I said, I did it on my phone, so I was like, oh, I skipped the QPR code part, but I'm gonna do it on my laptop, and then because I'm such a nerd like that, I'm gonna do it until I can hear it. But no, but honestly, like, and I meant that, like, when I was so excited, I told Meredith, I was like, oh my gosh, I am legit super stoked. Like I said, this is our second time talking, and it's more than just like, oh my gosh, okay, great. So what are you starting now? Like, you wrote a book, and it's so
good. I'm glad
freaking
you're
good,
enjoying
and
it.
it's like you should be just
so
proud.
You know, and you know what the sad part about someone like myself is? I'm such a serial like entrepreneur, like crazy with it, that I'm like already on to the next project.
But I think that's what but you have to, though. Like I always say, people always, I'm never happy. Like that's pretty much what I say. I'm never happy with anything I achieve. I'm grateful. I'm content.
Yeah, we're not
I'm like,
content.
what's
that's
next?
The wrong word.
Like
what
is
next?
Like that's it.
We're not content. We're not content.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I'm gonna reference Prince. It's like never satisfied. Like in Dove's Cry, when he's like, maybe I'm just never satisfied. That's pretty much me. I'm like, great. I'm so grateful. I'm happy. I achieved that one thing off. Now I added
10 more
dreams to
and that's
what I wanted to achieve. And it's like, you know,
exactly. So that's what I'm hoping that stylists, and I want more than just hairstylists. I want makeup artists. I want lash gurus. I want estheticians. You know, anyone in the beauty industry, number one, especially like getting out of hair school, just starting off on Instagram school, you know, like just kind of, you may have blew up that way working with like, you know, celebrities or, you know, reality show stars, whatever. Like you need the book just for the basics. So even if anyone on this live is not in the beauty industry, get it for your cousin, your niece, your friend, because I think that it's, and it's any age. It's not like for just young people or anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm in my 40s. So I find it it's helpful even to me to this day. I'm giving you resources each step of the way throughout the whole book, wrapped in my life experiences. You need it.
Okay, so I didn't even know you were 40, so this is my last question. What products do you use? I mean, you are just, Lord. I have yet to see a line. So what products
you know what?
Do you use?
I
love skincare.
I'm gonna be honest. I do a little glow stick to keep me in, a little highlight. But you know what? I've always had nice skin. I sleep in makeup. That's how terrible I was for years. Now I got my little Neutrogena makeup wipes, which I live for. They're in the blue pack.
Yes,
those are my favorite.
Yes, I get the individual ones from Amazon, like where it's like one makeup wipe. I love it, but I'm very OCD. I always take my makeup off. I like have two.
I just one wipe. I mean, come on, it's just one wipe. Like I've always had nice skin. Like literally, I don't get bumps at all, and I do use like a glycolic, like Mario Badescu glycolic wash. So that's kind of my favorite. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I don't do anything. I don't do any like face pumps. You're not like hardcore. Any of that stuff. Like not yet.
No, but like, do you have like a cryo one? Like any of the new like gua sha?
I don't do anything. Nothing? I've always had nice skin, so I can't even like try to blame it on anything. But my mama, I got nice skin from my mama.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I would say, I mean, you literally are just like I mean, honestly, like on your book cover, like, and just like the picture of your book,
thank you,
so youthful and happy.
Thank you. I told you how you show up.
Like, that's
how you, when I wake up in the morning, I wake up ready. Like, what are we doing today? Happy, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I because it's practice. I'm in practice of being happy, being joyful, being prayerful, meditating, and just, I create my day. How do you want this day to go? How do you need this day to go? Whether it's you doing a job that you're super excited about and you need the creative gods to be working in your favor today. I'm like, God, just help me be creative. Like it's every client, every time it's like something new. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's a new day. It's a new look, new creative, something I'm going to create. Help me be a creative. Help me get in this space. Help me. And before you know it, I'll be right, and I'll be on set, and I'll be creating. I'll be like, oh my
You're
God,
ready. You got it.
This is amazing. So.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh my gosh. So, tell people
Yes.
where they can go get your book.
You can get my book.
Beauty
you
to
can
Business.
Get From Beauty to Business on Amazon, Walmart. You can even, look at my phone falling. You can even buy it on, you can even go on penguin.com. I'm not self-published, so I'm with Bella and Penguin. So you can go on their website, and it's a list of places. But for now, go to Amazon. You can go to Goodreads. It's in a lot of locations, which is awesome. Be sure to get it. Yes, and it's out May 24th, but you can pre-order now. Don't forget to get this for your cousin, your niece. Just get the book. Yes.
Great Mother's Day gift.
Yes.
It's just a great overall gift. So everyone, Mother's
Day
is coming up. Or just,
I love you're graduating from hair
school.
A lot of people are about to graduate from hair school. They need this book. So get the book.
Awesome. Yay. So go grab it. And oh my gosh, I this is the longest I've ever talked.
Really? I know. It's been an hour already.
So, thank you. Yeah, I looked at the time like, how is this possible? I just kept going. You know what? Because you're so bubbly, and I'm typically not. So thank you. My longest life ever.
Awesome. I hope everybody enjoyed. Be sure to get the book.
Thank you
for your family.
Go grab it on Amazon.
So nice
Thank
to
you
talk
so much,
to you.
Kiyah. I hope you have a wonderful.
You too. So nice to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.